should probably mute the mic if I'm going to blow my nose. My apologies. What is going on? You know what? Because this is YouTube and I have no viewers, and what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to record my podcast. So I'm going to pretend that didn't even happen, and I'm just going to hit record and try this again. Oh, look at that. I think we figured it out. It is Monday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Holy shit. What kind of stuff are we going to get into today? I am about to drop some bombs. It was a crazy weekend. It was actually slower than I thought it would be. The holiday weekend reverberated through as the markets were quiet and things kind of just crab walked a bit sideways. Is $70,000 the news to move sideways? I don't know. Funding rates for large cap perpetual futures remain high, which means that we have volatility in the ingredients for some surges, either up or down. And may we have an extra slow weekend, which we did. A lot of it was due to the holidays. I do think on Monday, Tuesday, we're going to start to see some breakouts with some energy just start to pump. Chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Monday, April 1st, and it is time for some rare bits. Today, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index is coming in at a 79. We are up 4 degrees from yesterday. NFT sentiment is at 53. We're down 2 from yesterday, but it is still NFT land time. There's so much going on in the ecosystem. Top crypto search term for the normies is the token DGen, ticker sign DEGEN. It is up 232% on the 7-day. That is on the base network. It is going places. Keep that on your list. I can dive deep into some of the stuff and the interactions that has with Farcaster in a minute. Top NFT search term is MFer NFT. Satoshi came back and dropped a token to all MFer holders. It will be interesting to see if are tokens a new way for us to unify NFT communities? Are tokens a way to create new holders for the NFT because we will have possible airdrops? So all of these are things that I'm watching as new metas develop. We have, you know what, I'm not even going to touch, I will actually. Bitcoin dominance is down for the 24 hours. ETH dominance is down. A lot of people have been playing the meme coin game. And when we look at NFT sales across the 3 ecosystems, the top ecosystems at the moment are Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. Currently, Ethereum did about 9.4 million in the last 24 hours. Solana did 5.9, and Bitcoin took the lead with about $9.5 million worth of sales in the last 24 hours. We have 19 days until the Bitcoin halving, and I know that is on everybody's radar, as it is mine. As we get into the numbers for the nerds, you guys are looking at one of my favorite sites. It is watching the meme pool hard at work. As you can see, currently Bitcoin is trading at $69,829. There is a shot of the Bitcoin halving clock. As I mentioned, we have 19 days, 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 7 seconds. Currently, there are 2,754 blocks that remain to be minted before the halving rewards are cut in half. This is our heat map today, and as you can see, we are looking at a fair bit of red at the moment. If I switch it to the 1 hour, what is happening? As I said in the beginning intro, I think that we had a quiet weekend, and I think that we're going to start to see some energy pump back into the system. As you can see, Bitcoin is already up a bit for the hour. When we're looking at the crypto market cap, what has risen, what has soured, as you can see, a lot of the coins are in the red. We do see Solana, Doge, some of the altcoins up. When we look at the actual numbers, this moment in time, We currently have Bitcoin. You know what? I want to refresh this because we have two numbers that are fluctuating and not making sense. But basically what we're looking at is Bitcoin right around that $70,000 mark. At this moment, it is at $69,778. Ethereum is trading at $355. We have BNB. It is retraced back down to $587. It was up about $600 over the weekend. Solana is also retraced a bit. It is at $197. All activity that we expect and we'd like to see. We already got into our statistics for the top chains. Looking at some of the top sales, we had a CryptoPunk sell for about $234,000. We had a Mushroom sell for $216,000. And it looks like a Mushroom CryptoPunk wearing noun glasses. Looking at the top 5 collections on the Ethereum side of thing, we have Pudgy Penguins, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Azuki rounding out the top 5, with D-Gods coming in next. Let's double click on a couple of these. Pudgy Penguins currently trading at 13.8 Ethereum, Bored Ape 12.1. The differential is growing. Mutant Ape Yacht Club trading at 2.124. I am a proud Mutant Ape now. I picked up a Mutant Ape over the weekend. I do feel like the bottom is in. Again, I like to zig when everybody else is zagging. Everybody's focus is on Bitcoin and Solana, and it will come back to Ethereum. I am still a proponent of all the ecosystems. I am not a maxi by any stretch of the imagination, but I do believe we are going to see some activity on Ethereum as the tide begins to change. We have D-Gods currently trading at 1.595, Azuki at 4.492. So those are some interesting numbers. We've had D-Gods. D-Gods have gone down just a bit, probably since I sold, and Mutant Apes have gone up a bit, probably since I purchased. I'm just kidding. When we look at the top 5 movers on the Solana side of things, we have Froganas, Mutant Mon, Mad Lads, Tensorians, and Magic Ticket rounding out the top 5. I am going to double down on this again. Watch for some Tensorian news coming up. Their collection volume is up 163% on the 7-day, currently trading at 39.08 Solana. That is about to go up, I promise you. Looking at the top 5 movers on the Bitcoin side of things, we have Ink, Runestones, Oni One Force, Bitcoin Puppets, and Rune Whisperers. Rune Whisperers are a new addition to our list. How did they make it onto our list? Well, they did 3,000 sales in the last 24 hours. There are only 5 pending, which lets me know that the interest has quickly dried up. But you know what? These markets ebb and flow really strangely. So currently, there are no collections that have an outstanding number of pending. So possibly it's Monday. Everybody is finally getting back to work, knocking the dust off, getting back to their desks, doing what they need to do. We should see activity start to pick up, I don't know, around 10 or 11 or noon Eastern Standard Time. That's usually when the flow begins to happen again. So we will see what is hot and what is not. And while we're here, I just wanted to double click. We don't see it on our top 5 movers, but I wanted to look at personas. So it's interesting. Personas, the collection floor price is down to, it's not down to, it's about 3.39. So it's been consistent over the weekend. What is interesting about it, it is probably the #1 sales volume over the last 24 hours with 357 trades coming in. The floor price has gone down a bit, but people are selecting some of the higher priced NFTs that they like. And we're kind of at this fluctuation point where either the community decides to rally around it and the floor price is going to go up, or it's going to kind of lose its steam. So I'm anxiously awaiting to see what happens with that particular collection. This is our NFT Ethereum heat map. As you can see, we have some green and some red. D-Gods, Milady Makers making some ground. Captain's also regaining some ground. And looking at our Solana heat map, it is a sea of red at the moment, but that is absolutely fine. I did want to get a look at one other thing. Let me see here. And while I am doing this, you guys, I am going to... You know what? I should have done that the whole time. Nobody wants to look at my mug. I apologize. I wanted you to see the statistics that were up as I was going through them. but we will continue to move on. In the world of crypto, the metaverse is absolutely heating up with a game called Wilder World. It has just gone live on the Epic Game Store, and I did kind of a deep dive on it. I'm going to put out a thread on this a bit later today, but basically there are some components that you need to do to really thrive in this game. You need to have the NFT, you need to have one Wilder token in your wallet, and you need to have a membership to the Wilder Nation. So the membership is a digital identity stating that you have all of these assets. I think digital identities are going to be absolutely huge moving forward in so many ways. I've talked about it on the podcast before. I think Mochaverse is setting an absolutely brilliant example on the ways to do this. They are ones to follow. But this game, Wilder World, it is interesting. I think it is going to pick up traction. The fact that it is on the Epic Game Store is impressive to me. I think on the deep dive that I did today, it looks like if you want to purchase the NFT, the floor price on the NFT currently is about 0.293 Ethereum. So it's about $1,000 to pick up one of the NFTs, which is a vehicle, and it lets you participate in the ecosystem and earn Bitcoin. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're earning cryptocurrency. So you're not earning Bitcoin, you're earning crypto. And it can be exchanged for Bitcoin. But it is interesting, some of the tokenomics that they have, some of the assets that you need to play the game successfully. And once you buy into it and get going, it's going to be interesting to see how does this take off. Are they going to be able to attract a Web 2 audience, or will it be mainly focused to the Web 3 people? The verdict is out. It is something that I'm watching. I think it is exciting. I love the fact that Epic has opened their doors to the crypto stuff. We have Bitcoin's price, as I mentioned, it is teetering around that $70,000 mark. It is leaving analysts divided on its next move, as they always are. A breakout could see it surge towards 75,000. And like, I don't know if you guys understand that Bitcoin at 75,000, right? It's a magic number. 69,000 was the most magic number. But once we pass that 70,000, yeah, we get there, we pass it. 71, 72, 75,000 is a mental knock in the head. It is a wake-up reminder to all of the people, all of the normies that have been hearing Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000. When it hits $75,000, a timer is going to go off in most people's head and say, wow, I need to investigate Bitcoin. So I am hoping that $75,000 mark ticks the bell for so many people as we try and strengthen our ecosystem. We could also see a correction which could send Bitcoin tumbling down. And the only good side to that is if you are in California, you can now flip burgers and serve French fries for the minimum wage of $20 an hour in California. Everybody's getting paid $20 an hour in Bitcoin. 20 US dollars is the minimum wage for fast food workers in California starting today. So I found that interesting. We have Ethereum. It is eyeing a climb toward $4,000. Shiba Inu faces a crucial battle. One of my good friends is not a whale in Shiba, but according to me and my friend, he is a whale. And watching the price, just watching him battle it out and be a hodler of Shiba has been interesting. And if you are a holder of Shiba, are you planning to exit? If you rode the bear market through all of this terrible mess and we're getting back into some of these incentives that Shiba Inu's got coming out with some of the burn mechanisms, are you going to be part of the army? Do you stay part of the army, or do you reach a point in your Shiba arc where you are going to get out and put your coins into something that makes more sense? That is a question. I would love to hear comments. Let me know your thought process. Next up, we had a viral video from the Cardano girls. And one of the interesting things about that video was not only did it go viral and hit millions of views, it just opens up this question, and I think they're investigating this now, is what are the marketing efforts of these coins? What's the story behind the coin? And granted, it might sound crazy to have a story behind a currency, but it's not. because there was a founder, a developer, an engineer, a group of people that got together to solve a problem. If it's not a shitcoin, the idea was that there's utility behind it and it is to solve a problem. That is a story. That is interesting. So that narrative should be a part of the story as we're onboarding people. Let them know why you exist, what you're trying to do. And I think sometimes that story gets convoluted in technical jargon, and it's not easily absorbed or digested by the normies. So watching the Cardano girls kind of kick up some dust and bring light to the Cardano ecosystem, I thought was magnificent. And I think I am actually going to have a live space today with Lily, one of the Cardano girls. So look for that. That will be on Twitter later today. We have the CEO from Tron and Polygon. They are clashing over the approach of scaling Ethereum. We're looking at layer 3s now. Are we going to get to layer 4s, 5s, and 6? Technically, I think we could do all of those things. Does it make it crazy, and is it manageable? I think it is. Watching Tron and Polygon kind of duke it out over this issue is interesting. We also have some SEC that has been involved with Tron. Tron is trying to get the SEC to just drop their charges. Basically, what I feel like we're seeing is the SEC has gotten ahead of its skis, and it thinks it's more powerful than it is, and it's actually trying to govern outside of the United States, and that is not something that happens. And so as we see global cryptocurrencies try and operate within the United States, does the governing body of the United States get to lay the foundation, which means if you don't adhere to these laws, you can't move your currency in our borders. So these discussions are forming, they're coming out. And again, I'm going to double back to something I mentioned in the podcast yesterday, is that vote with your ledger this election cycle. Not your Bible, not your morals, not your party line, none of that stuff. Vote for crypto, because it will usher in the smartest people in the world, in my view. And that's just my take on it. I'm a bozo. What do I know? Anyway, we have industry leaders. They are taking a second look at meme coins. One of the interesting articles that I read regarding the meme coins is look at these as a vehicle to onboard people. And if it is fun and interesting, and again, this is not a utility-driven token. These are tokens that if you like a certain kind of fluffy dog, you buy it. And if it does well, you could do well. So meme coins are here to stay. You know what? And it's funny. This is analogous to when NFTs came out, and people that got into NFTs were talking to their friends and relatives about digital art. They think you're crazy. Now we are having that same discussion with meme coins because they have no perceived value, as many people think digital art has no perceived value. The arguments are really similar, especially if you're talking to newbies, people who are not familiar with this ecosystem. I find myself touching on the same topics, and the nomenclature is different, but the subject matter and the ideology is identical. So it is interesting to watch us begin to swallow the idea that meme coins have no utility. It is just something to do when you're bored. So that is where we're at. I think it is a vehicle that will continue to drive notoriety and adoption in the space. So discounting it as a means of onboarding is a mistake. And excuse me, what I also think we'll see, and I mentioned this earlier, is that do we see meme coins, as Satoshi did with MFers, begin to interact with NFTs? Do we see meme coins begin to interact with brands? What if Coca-Cola decides to drop the Coke token, right? And it has utility in their ecosystem. And I could go on and on. Like, it excites me thinking about this stuff, but we are currently not seeing products really embrace blockchain technology, NFT technology, meme coins, and there is a vehicle for companies to do all of these things individually or simultaneously. And the impact, if done correctly, could be huge. It could be notable. You could be written about. You could create storyline for your brand, things that people are not doing. These are new innovations. And if you are not understanding the tech. If you are not being a part of these spaces, you need to get involved now because it will change your business outcome in the near future. I promise you. I absolutely promise. And we have big money. It might be on the horizon for crypto. And what does that mean? We, as I mentioned, this $75,000 mark for Bitcoin, that is going to set off an alarm bell, not only in the United States, but around the world, that I'm running out of time. And the predictions that I've been hearing from all of those maniacs that talk about Bitcoin saying it's going to go to $1 million, when it hits $75,000, that is a rung on the ladder, on the visual ladder of the steps to $1 million. And it is something that everybody can digest. It's a number that is substantial. It is a number that is more than most people in the United States make for a yearly salary. When the number begins to get like that, people notice. And what is interesting, and I think it is super important to the onboarding, is as the number reaches higher and higher, people start to think, wow, I missed it. I can no longer be associated with this. I can't afford $75,000. You buy all this stuff in pieces, and you are never too late to buy Bitcoin. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. And I mean, what are you going to do if I don't hold my promise? Like, that's the wonderful thing about this kind of promise. But I do absolutely believe that there is no bad time to buy Bitcoin at the moment. I really don't. I really don't. It is so profound what is happening. We are on the cusp of something that is 15 years old, and it is going to be the way we maneuver currency for the next 1,000 years. And it was created just recently, and we're working out the kinks now. So get into it, learn about it, be a part of it, buy it. Buy Bitcoin, buy other coins, buy coins that make you laugh. Bitcoin is not funny. It's serious. But these other coins are funny. And you know, that is what I got today. The secret sauce for today is one day or day one. You decide, my friend. You decide. Remember, the rabbit hole runs deep. Still craving crypto clarity? Subscribe to my Substack today, or check out Rare Bits on YouTube, which you're doing now. Please smash the like button, share, friend, do whatever you do. Do whatever nice people do when they're watching videos on YouTube. Bringing you more content as it comes in. I hope you guys are having a glorious day. That is what I got for you. Peace.